Good evening, everybody. Call to order a meeting for tonight, ZBA, June 4th. And we got a roll call is Paul White, Ryan Thompson, myself, Mrs. Honay, Jay Johnson, Paul Bush, Jeremy Smith, and David Laddie representing staff. Mr. Johnson, would you like to lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I would love to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And just as a reminder, everybody turn off your cell phones or put them on silent, please. We've got an agenda in front of us. Do we have any comments, changes, anything else, Mr. Smith?
None.
All right, we hear a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
We've got a motion by Mr. Bush and approved by Mr. Thompson. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We've got some minutes in front of us also from February 13th. The only thing that I see on here is at the top, it says agenda for regular meeting, and it should say minutes. Other than that, does anybody else have any other comments?
I didn't even catch that, so I'm good.
Okay. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with your correction.
Okay, thank you. Motion by Mr. Johnson,
second
supported
it.
by Mr. White.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We've got one gentleman from the public. Are you here to talk about the case that we have before us tonight?
No, just, I got a notice about the zoning, from a neighbor.
Okay, good. We'll take your comments then when we open up that case to public hearing. Okay? Any other correspondence?
None.
Okay, old business, none. We've got new business. ZBA case 24-0002. It's at 7189 Westminster Circle. This is a public hearing. We've got two variances to look at this evening. One is to allow the accessory structure to be closer than 10 feet to the building, and the other is to allow it in the side yard setback. Let's see. Debating whether I should just go right to you or go out to the applicant. Why don't we just go right up to the applicant? If you wouldn't mind coming up and giving your name and address for the record, please.
Greg Childers, I own Motor City Home Improvement. Been there 36 years. Have been on the township board of Clayton for 20 years and the ZBA board there for 12 years. So this is nothing new to me. I've been doing this for a long time. My homeowner, Mike, got called out of town at work. I believe he's in Canada, but he travels a lot for his work. But we're only looking for one variance. The side lot line, there was 30 foot 9 inches from the home to the side lot line. And we're gonna keep it to 3 foot side yard setback. That's gonna be fine. We're asking for 3 foot 9 inches from the existing home to the new detached garage. So it really is only one variance we're asking. We're asking for two?
We're asking for two, yeah, because the side yard setback requirement is 12 feet, but an accessory structure can infringe upon it by 9
okay.
feet, so then that would allow
So the 3 foot.
to maintain that 3 foot. Yep.
Being in the side yard would be your second request.
Okay.
That's why I was thinking about going to Mr. Smith first to have a clarification, but,
You've seen the pictures I submitted with it, and I've been over a couple times, and I've been in here, of course, we gotta show a hardship of why we cannot put the home 10 foot from the detached garage 10 foot from the home. If you look at the pictures I took, the backyard, from the side door to the garage to the backyard is about 48 inches of elevation difference. So we took a transit out there and set it up. But, if we move it into the backyard, we got two issues we're dealing with. One, that low area in the back is real wet. It is always wet. And I got some pictures in there that show that before you get to the back fence. Second is a 4 foot difference in elevation. There's no way I can get the garage in the backyard on a flat piece of land in the back. So of course it would have to be built up over 4 foot. I mean, which would be almost cost prohibitive to do that, you know, to get it that far up. He does have approval from the homeowners association in the neighborhood. The neighbors, he has a trailer and he has several cars, expensive cars. And he bought a trailer to put one of the cars in. That's the reason he's building this accessory building, so he can put a car or two in that building. There's a white trailer in the driveway there now. He's got a really neat house, but the trailer is going to be sold. It's only been used once, but that is going to be sold once we get the garage built for him. I have talked to Ted, the building inspector. Of course, I dealt with him in the city of Flint for a long time, because I've been 36 years there, but the homeowner did hire me to insulate and drywall the entire garage anyways. So it meets code as far as for the 3 foot 9 inches or whatever it is for a firewall. So we're meeting that, whether it was attached or not, we're still meeting the necessary code for a firewall because the garage is going to be drywalled. And it'll follow that already, even though we're only going to be 3 foot 9 from the home. So whether it was attached or not, and to attach it to the house, the way the house is built, is almost cost prohibitive also, because of the way the second story in the house is built there. To get attached to the house there, I mean, it would just be redoing the whole roof line, that whole side of the house. I mean, it had another $25,000 to the project just to get a garage built. And Mike's been wanting this for 4 or 5 years, and the homeowners association finally have allowed the homes in that neighborhood to build accessory garages. I built one on the street over, finished and done, completed, and that's where he got my name from, seeing what I'd done there for that gentleman. And so now, since then, I've got 2 more people in the neighborhood that want to have garages built also.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and I guess that was one of my concerns as well, and I did see that at 7317, and it looks really nice.
Thank you. We
But I
put brick
did
on the front and all that, and yeah.
But I did notice there's 2 other houses that actually have their garages attached, their additional garage is attached.
Yes.
But there's no sheds or anything in that area. So the HOA has approved that, but did they initially not approve to have any sheds or any outbuildings at all?
Originally, from my understanding, whoever developed that neighborhood and built it, from my understanding, part of that, they didn't want any accessory buildings to be there. Which, you know, makes it difficult for people with lawnmowers and patio furniture and all your stuff. Where do you put it at? Where do you store it at? So, you know, recently they have, whether it's a new homeowner association, whatever it is, but they've approved, you know, to have those buildings built. I do, you know, I've included it in there, but I do have the paperwork from the homeowner association where they've approved it.
Okay.
And all the drawings and everything, same as the other one that they built. You know, basically gonna be the same thing, look basically the same, you know.
Okay. All right, go back to the board. Anybody have any questions?
I just have one question. This is 24 by 30 or 24 by 24? Because the
24 by 30. That was a mistake on my part on some of the paperwork, but I corrected that later on with Jeremy, and it's 24 by 30. The width is the same, but it's gonna be 30 foot deep. You know, and I gave him the measurements on the side of the garage also. No one had asked for them, but I measured the other day when I was out there, you know, how far up onto the house from the back corner of the garage it's gonna come. And there's a service door on the side, and it's just gonna be a couple feet towards the back. You know, so it's not coming way up in the front or nothing. It's still plenty of ways back there, but we couldn't go any farther back because, like I said, the elevation, if you look at the pictures, it just falls off so drastically and it's wet back there. You know, it just almost be cost prohibitive to do that.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any other questions?
I guess just a quick one, I guess. The HOA does their own kind of officiating, right? So we don't have any jurisdiction over what they approve or what they don't.
That's correct.
Okay. 'Cause I don't think I got their letter of approval in my.
I have, if you want, I have,
That's because I was a
have
HOA
it,
president
but I
for
included it in
20
there.
years. I couldn't get out of the position, so I remember, I've been through these.
well, it's sort of opened the
On the
floodgates a
HOA
little
side?
bit there because I'm sure this won't be the only one that's gonna be a situation like that.
We run into all the time.
You know what I'm saying?
Houses are 2-car garages and you don't have room for
There's no
anything
room
else.
for it. Exactly.
If
know,
you have a
got
kid,
kids,
now you have an extra car.
all that stuff.
I'm in the same position, so.
It's better than sitting out in the, you know, out in the yard, uncovered, and, you know, furniture and lawnmowers and stuff. I mean, it just, he's got a very nice home, and no different than the garage I built. You know, if you went and looked at it, you see my work, what it is. I've been doing this a long time, so.
Some of them attached by breezeway, kind of like a little,
Yeah, yeah,
to get to from the door to the garage.
well,
kind of
yeah, exactly. And that
If
could-
it's
it could, you know,
architecturally feasible, right?
I mean, technically, a footing in the ground from the house to the garage is attached.
Okay. Any other questions before I go to Mr. Smith? Okay, Mr. Smith, you're up.
Mr. Chairman. So as stated before, case number 24-0002, 7189 Westminster Circle, R2 Single Family Residential Zoning, parcel ID 12-17-651-035. Subject property is approximately 132 by 133, and the surrounding zoning is R2 as well. Mr. Childers would like to construct a new accessory building at 24 by 30. The proposed building would have a peak height of 14 feet. The building is proposed to be constructed in the side yard. The requested side yard location is due to the sloping topography in the rear yard. The two variances, as stated before, is to be in the side yard for construction and to be 3.9 feet from the house where 10 foot is required, making it a 6.3-inch variance. Standards for variance requests, needs to meet a practical difficulty, has to be a unique situation, not self-created, substantial justice, minimum variance is necessary, and compliance with all other laws. Township would recommend for approval of this case based on the following items. Requested variances are consistent with other variances that have been granted in the past. And two, a practical difficulty has been shown due to the sloping topography in the rear yard.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? All right, I will open up public comment then. If you could have a seat, sir. Do you want to come up and say anything? Okay, do you have any comments? You can come up and give your name. Okay. Okay. All right, nobody else in the public, so I will close public comment. Mr. Laddie, the only real concern that I have is that we know that this is going to be setting a precedent because everybody is in the same boat over there. I'm not sure how old this subdivision is, if it's 20, 25 years old, if it was, I mean, obviously it wasn't anything that was considered with accessory structures and the need for them. I guess it kind of puts us in a difficult position because we shouldn't really just blanket variances, but what is your take on that?
Well, I take, it sounds like the homeowners association has had a change of heart, or at least they've amended their restrictions to allow accessory buildings, which sounds like it's going to pick up in popularity. The issue hopefully will be that we're not going to see a number of accessory buildings proposed in the side yard setbacks, or that close to the property line. And so I think it may be fine that we'll get a lot of applications for accessory structures. We may run into interesting scenarios like this. Like it's fairly rare for us to see a legitimate practical difficulty. And where we see those, we may consider granting relief if it's appropriate. Hopefully we won't see a lot of them, right, that need to be pushed up into a certain area or that need to be in the side yard setback. Hopefully there'll be standard accessory structures that everybody uses.
Okay, great, thank you.
If I may,
Yes,
just for a little help on that, the one that I built over there, there are no setback problems, issues at all. I've looked at 2 additional homes in there. They want me to get prices together. They don't pose a problem either.
okay, great.
You know, a lot of those, on the other side there, where I built the other one, the ground is flat and level, and there's the room in the back. Those houses that are across the street from him, where I'm, this one we're talking about, that's where some of them go down. There's only a few there. The rest of them all are pretty flat. I
That
don't
seems
think
like
there's.
it's kind of on that curve there.
Correct.
That area.
Yep, just before, you go around the curve to the right, and his is right there on the left, and there's a few of them there, but I think the rest of them that I've seen, I don't see that issue, that problem,
Okay. All right. Any other comments from the board? All right, and I would entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve approve the 2 variances requested for case number 24-002.
Do you have any conditions on that?
Should we do them together? Or?
You can do them together.
Okay.
Not unless somebody would like to add something.
Okay. How about that we maintain that 3-foot side?
That
setback?
works. Yes, let's maintain that 3-foot setback.
we will.
Anybody else have any comments on that motion? We have a motion by Mr. Johnson. Any other discussion? Approval or support, support for that motion?
I'll support.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, support. Any additional discussion? The only discussion I would have is that that's a really bad drawing. And since you've been doing this for so long, I would have better expectations on a drawing.
Rick Swihart or Bruce Calhoun and Creekwood and Associates, they do all that for me. I've been 32 years doing it, so they did not do that. I did that, all right?
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, we've got a motion on the floor to approve. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries.
Thank you, man, very much.
you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Committee reports. Do we have any committee reports?
Thanks.
I won't tell Tucker you talk.
None.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, good.
so we're looking for a motion for adjournment.
Can I make one thing, Madam Chair?
Silver Lake.
We will probably not have a July meeting.
Where's by you?
We don't have anything on the books yet, but we'll probably have to have, oh, sorry. We'll probably have to have an August meeting to elect officers. So just keep that in mind. July, I have nothing so far, so July will probably be canceled. But August is probably going to be a go. And again, have nothing on the books, but we have to do it to elect officers every July. So if we don't have one in July, we can do it in August, so.
Okay, very good. Anybody have anything else to discuss?
Works for me.
All right, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Mr. Thompson, support by Mr. Johnson. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're adjourned. 6:45-ish.